Now let's take a look at the paragraph and find out how we go from our outline to our essay. The standard paragraph is made up of a topic sentence, subtopic headings, and various levels of specific examples. The topic sentence functions in the paragraph just as the thesis statement functions in the essay. The topic sentence also supports the thesis statement by offering a main point in the discussion and announces what specifically will be discussed in the paragraph. Likewise, each subtopic heading will support the specific focus of the paragraph. Finally, the examples under each subtopic heading offer illustrations that support the assertions of the subheading. Thus, in a well-organized paragraph, the relationship of every detail to the topic sentence is obvious, and in turn, the connection with the thesis is obvious. Remember that the paragraph is a miniature essay. Mastering the principles of paragraph form offers greater assurance toward mastering the essay. This mastery involves being familiar with unity, development, coherence, and continuity within the paragraph. Paragraph unity is very important. For a paragraph to have unity, each sentence in a body paragraph must directly relate to the purpose indicated in the topic sentence. Never, ever lose sight of your topic sentence when you're writing a paragraph, just like you never lose sight of the thesis when you're writing your essay. The paragraph must hang together as a whole, creating an unmistakable sense of oneness. Any departure from the single purpose of the paragraph violates paragraph unity. For example, if you were to bring into your discussion of good teachers the idea that teachers' salaries need to be raised, you would be shifting the focus away from the main idea, thus breaking the unity in the paragraph. Stick to your topic sentence. Keep in mind that a paragraph is, by definition, a unified statement of a particular idea. A way to test paragraph unity is to try to link each sentence to a word or phrase in the topic sentence. Draw lines and arrows if you must. Any sentence that you cannot obviously link to the topic sentence is probably irrelevant and therefore will undermine the effectiveness of your paper and should be removed. Let's look at paragraph development. Just because you have said in your thesis statement that a good teacher respects her students, shows interest in them, and motivates them, that does not mean that your readers have to accept your viewpoint automatically. You must convince your audience that what you have to say is sound, sensible, and well supported. In other words, even if you are informing, you are still persuading your readers. You must explore your main idea explicitly, concretely, and thoroughly, and you must strive to include enough supporting evidence in each paragraph to present your point convincingly. Inadequate paragraph development is one of the most serious weaknesses of beginning writers. No matter how organized and unified your ideas are, if they are not developed fully, you have failed to communicate to your audience. Supporting evidence or examples come from your own experiences, from hypothetical examples, research material, authoritative evidence, facts, or from just about any sound, reliable source. Many students ask, what is enough support? The answer is arbitrary, but some general guidelines apply. You want enough support to convince your audience of the soundness of your argument, whose opinion, for example, is more likely to be accepted in a court of law. A defense attorney's claim that her client is innocent because the defendant's family and friends know he is innocent, or the prosecuting attorney's claim that the defendant is guilty because of 14 eyewitnesses and extensive forensic evidence. Valid evidence is convincing and supports opinions and observations. The same is true of paragraph development. You must provide enough information to convince them of the soundness of your argument. Never forget that quality is more important than hitting a specific number of sentences per paragraph or paragraphs per essay. The fact that Aunt Zona Gale believes men make better teachers than women is not the strong evidence you want to support your contentions about good teachers. But surveying students or speaking with teachers who have won awards or recognition for excellence in teaching would serve as appropriate proof. In moving from topic sentence to supporting evidence in a paragraph, you are moving from general to specific. The order and progression of this movement is essential to effective paragraphs, and the outline is the most efficient method of making certain this progression occurs logically. This order ranks and demonstrates the levels of generality in a paragraph. For example, you start with level 1 in your thesis. Then you continue down, going from general to more specific between the levels 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can add additional levels if your specific topic requires. These levels constitute the arrangement of ideas in the paragraph, from general statement to specific examples. Always develop your ideas in the outline of your paragraph at least to level 4. The logic behind this recommendation is that you most likely will have to reach level 3 before you can provide examples that are specific and concrete enough to persuade your readers of your general assertion. In addition, the ideal number of level 2 or level 3 statements is 3, that is A, B, C, and 1, 2, and 3. If you offer only 2 examples, you could run the risk of sounding dogmatic and inflexible. 4 or more examples under the same subtopic, however, suggest you wish to appeal emotionally to your readers. Some readers might cry out, "Enough already!" There is such a thing as overkill, especially if your examples tend to be repetitious. You will not always be able to provide 3 examples, but the goal is a worthy one. Make sure you understand and can recognize the different levels so you can create good, effective outlines and consequently good paragraphs. Finally, if your paragraph is a long one, you might consider including a summary sentence, a clincher, to close your paragraph. The inclusion of such a sentence serves at least 2 purposes. First, it brings closure to the main idea of the paragraph, especially if you have provided extensive examples. Closure helps your audience by returning them to your central idea and reminding them of your specific intention in the paragraph. Second, the summary sentence is on the same level of generality as your topic sentence. Therefore, it will make your task of bridging the connection between this paragraph and the next easier than it would be if you had to move from a very specific level of generality, a minor support statement, to a new topic sentence in a new paragraph. The final summary sentence clinches the discussion and emphasizes the main idea. Some writers prefer to provide in this final sentence some notion of what is to come in the next paragraph through some kind of transition device. One key component of a well-written paragraph and subsequent essay is continuity in the paragraph. Now, continuity means literally holding together. It is achieved through good organization and unity, as we've seen, and also by the language you use to illustrate to your readers how your ideas fit together. The language you use will serve as transitions, devices that link sentences to each other. Transitions are also used to connect paragraphs, thus linking your ideas together in a smooth, logical order. Transitional devices include pronouns and demonstrative adjectives, repetition of key words, the use of synonyms, transitional expressions, and parallel construction. You will get a handout explaining these in detail during class. All transitional devices assist you, the writer, in avoiding dull repetition by making the expression of your ideas more interesting and more varied. These devices keep you and your reader from having to leap from one idea to another because they offer convenient and persuasive bridges which add to the coherence and logic of your ideas. Most writers find that they naturally include the transitional devices within paragraphs, but additional editing might be required during revising to make certain that there is adequate bridging between paragraphs. If you struggle with flow in your paragraphs and your essays, make sure you specifically look at your transitions. When you understand the principles that constitute a good paragraph, you will understand the general organization of the essay. Remember that a paragraph is a miniature essay. Only the scope of a paragraph changes to meet the requirements of the following essay. The system remains the same, but the form expands. This is how you go from a paragraph to an essay. In general, most of your writing will have an introductory paragraph, usually 3 or 4 body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. Regardless of the length of the essay, the principles of organization remain the same. Stay tuned for our next episode covering the introductory and concluding paragraphs along with titles and the revision process.